Hi, I'm Charlie from Summary Sanctum, and today we're going to dive into a system that's all about getting back control in a world that just never stops. We are talking about David Allen's Getting Things Done, which is basically a blueprint for being super effective without totally burning out. You know that feeling, don't you? Your brain just feels like a web browser with 100 tabs open, and they're all blinking, demanding your attention. Your to-do list just keeps scrolling forever, and every single notification is just another brick in the wall. If that sounds familiar, well, this explainer is definitely for you. So we're about to dig into a pretty wild idea here. What if the real thing holding you back, the real enemy of your productivity, isn't that you're lazy or you don't have enough time? What if it's that we've all been using our brains in a way that they just weren't designed for? This quote right here, this is the absolute foundation of the whole Getting Things Done philosophy. Think of your mind like your computer's RAM. It's incredibly powerful for processing and focusing on what's right in front of you, but it is a terrible, terrible hard drive. The second you try to store everything in there, it just gets overloaded, slow, and, oh look, a squirrel. David Allen calls all these unresolved things floating around in our heads open loops. And let me tell you, these are the real source of our stress. Your brain is keeping a running tab of every single one, from figure out my life's purpose all the way down to remember to buy milk. And it will not rest until those loops are closed. So here's the game-changing idea. The goal is not to try harder or somehow develop a super memory. Nope. The goal is to get all of those open loops out of your head and into an external system, a system you trust 100%. That's what frees up your mind to finally do what it's amazing at: thinking, solving problems, and being present. Okay, so that sounds great, right? But how do you actually build this trusted system? Well, the answer is a really straightforward 5-step workflow designed to rescue you from the chaos of modern life. These 5 stages, capture, clarify, organize, review, and engage, they're the heart and soul of the GTD method. And you really need to think of them like links in a chain. Your whole system is only as strong as its weakest link. First up, capture. This is where you get absolutely everything that has your attention into just a few collection buckets. And when I say everything, I mean everything. The big stuff, the tiny stuff, the personal, the professional. The goal here is 100% collection. Get it all out so you can finally see what you're really dealing with. So once you've captured all your stuff, you've got to start emptying those buckets. Now this part is crucial. Emptying does not mean doing all the things. It just means you pick up one item at a time and ask one very simple, very powerful question to figure out what it is. And this is the magic question. Is it actionable? This is the decision you have to make right at the very beginning for everything you've captured. Every note, every email, every idea that pops into your head. It's a simple yes or no that just cuts right through the noise. If the answer is no, you have 3 super simple choices. You can either just trash it if it's not relevant anymore, you can incubate it, putting it on a someday/maybe list for later, or you can file it away as reference material you might need down the road. Now, what if the item is actionable? Well, in that case, the first thing I want you to think about is this magic number, 2. This little number is the key to one of the most powerful productivity hacks in this whole system. And here it is, the 2-minute rule. The rule is simple. If an action is going to take you less than 2 minutes to complete, you just do it. Right then, right there. Why? Because honestly, it takes way more time and energy to log it, track it, and remember it than to just get it over with. It's a game changer for stopping small tasks from piling up. So for anything that's going to take longer than 2 minutes, you've got 3 more options. You either plan to do it yourself, you delegate it to someone else and keep track of it, or you defer it. You just park it in your system to handle later. The last 3 steps are all about actually running your new system. Organize is about putting all those reminders in the right places. Review, which, by the way, is kind of the secret sauce of the whole thing, is about looking at your lists regularly. And engage is about trusting your gut to make the right call on what to do at any given moment. Okay, now I want to talk about what is, for my money, the single most life-changing habit you can build from this whole system. It's such a simple mental flip, but it unlocks so much progress and just gets rid of so much stress. Just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got these vague, kind of stressful projects. On the right, you have a clear, physical next action. So instead of this big, scary thing like plan mom's birthday, your list just says, call sister to brainstorm gift ideas. See? Suddenly it feels totally doable. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? You can't actually do a project. A project is just an outcome you want. You can only do the specific individual actions that get you there. And shifting your thinking from projects to next actions, that is the secret to beating procrastination. So you've done all the work. You're capturing everything. You're defining your next actions. What's the big prize at the end of all this? What's the state we're really aiming for? I'll tell you this much. It's a lot bigger than just having an empty inbox. Without a system, our mind is basically like a kitchen after a huge party. It's an absolute mess. It's chaotic, it's stressful, and you can't even think straight, let alone try to be creative. You have no idea where to even start. But with GTD, your mind becomes like a clean, organized kitchen. Everything's in its place. Now, this doesn't mean you stop cooking. It means you finally have the space to make a glorious, creative mess on your own terms. You have the mental freedom to be spontaneous and to focus on what really inspires you. There's a beautiful term for martial arts for this state, mind like water. Picture a totally calm pond. You toss a little pebble in, and the water ripples appropriately. Then it returns to calm. Now, what if you threw a giant boulder in? The water would respond to that too, appropriately, and then it would return to calm. It doesn't overreact or underreact, and that is the goal. So to wrap it all up, if you remember anything, remember this. First, your brain is for having ideas, not holding them. Stop using it for storage. Second, capture everything in a system you trust. And third, always decide the very next physical action. All of this leads to that ultimate goal, a state of relaxed control, a mind like water. You see, when you put a system like this in place, you don't just get more done. What's way more important is that you get back your mental energy, your focus, to spend on the things that actually matter. This isn't just about managing a to-do list. It's about making space for the life you truly want to live. So what could you accomplish if your mind was finally free?